What's up, people? It's your boy Perfection, back from Spain. As you can see, I uploaded all of the videos. So I'm just going to sum up my review of Spain. First thing I want to say is I arrived back from the UK thinking that it would be, I arrived back from Spain thinking that it would be slightly cooler here in the UK, and it's not. It's still another roaster. So it's out of the fire, what did they say? Out of the frying pan into the fire. But yeah, so in regards to the Rototom, you see most of my videos. We arrived there one day early, so we arrived there on the Thursday. We set up tent, although it took a hell of a long time, so be careful what tent you're carrying, guys, and make sure that you're able to put up the tent. You put up the tent prior to you traveling to wherever you're going. So it took us like 2.5 hours in the blazing hot sun to put up a tent, but we finally got it done. But the overall view of Rototom is, yeah, it's a good place. It's a good place. But what I will say is that if you don't speak Spanish, it can be quite hard to kind of mingle with Spanish people over there. Not to mention there's a lot of French over there, most likely a lot of Italians and things like that. So if you've only got one language like English, you can find yourself slightly isolated, because everyone around you, even on the camping area, everyone around me was speaking French, Spanish, Italian, and they would speak a little bit of English here and there. So you kind of feel slightly left out. But if you're traveling in a large group now, then everything is good. What I discovered this year is that in order to camp, you've got to be a champion. It's as simple as that. It's hard. It's tough. It's tough. And some of the people that I was with, they're trying to kind of remain happy and bubbly and excited, but that hot sun and coming down in your tent at something like 8:30 in the morning. So basically you'll go to bed from a late night. So you might come back from the Rototom sun splash at about 5 in the morning, maybe even 2 in the morning. By about 8:30 you get this beaming ray of sun shining down on your tent, and all of a sudden your tent turns into some sort of microwave oven, and you have to get up. You have no choice but to get up. I think that was the problem, is that people didn't realize that if you go to bed late, you have to get up at 8:30. You don't really have a choice. So what was happening is people were saying, oh, it's too hot, it's too hot. It's not the fact that it's too hot, it's the fact that you've gone to bed too late and you have no option but to get up at 8:30 or 9 o'clock, whatever time it was, because your tent's just too hot. So how I did it was I would make sure that if I did get 2 hours sleep because I had a good night at the sun splash, then I would make up for it by round about 1 in the afternoon going down to the beach and having a doze on the beach, getting my sleep back on the beach. But so when the sun came in at 8:30, 8:45 in the morning, I had no trouble dealing with it, getting out of bed, having a cold shower. That's another thing I want to bring up, is that some people weren't comfortable in the camping area with the public nudity. They were uncomfortable with being nude or seeing other nude people. Again, camping isn't for everyone. Best thing to do is book into a hotel. That's the best option. Book yourself into a hotel. And there's nothing wrong with people booking themselves into a hotel. To be honest with you, if you've got the money, then why not? I mean, me personally, I think if I was in a hotel, I would have missed out on even though the people on the camping site don't speak English, there's still a bit of a vibe there. And B, I would have missed out on the Rototom, because I know that sometimes you have to jump on a bus and you have to wait 50 minutes to travel all the way to the festival from your hotel. And if you've seen anything from my videos, the festival and the camping site aren't too far from each other. They're like 5 minutes away. So I can just about handle that. I can just about handle going to the festival and coming back from it. But if I was in a hotel and I had to, maybe I've had a couple of drinks, maybe the sun has been taken out of me the whole day, and then I have to jump on some bus and wait 50 minutes on the packed bus to get to the festival, I know that would, by the third or fourth day, I'd be saying, you know, I'm just going to miss out on today, man, because it's a bit of a travel, it's a bit of a trek, and it's going to be a bit of a trek getting home. Most likely have to get a taxi or share a taxi. But if you've got unlimited amounts of funds, then a hotel is a great place, because it's only what, 10 euros from the Rototom to your hotel. Most likely it might be 15 euros. So really, it's those who can afford to splurge versus those who can't, and those who can't have to be soldiers. Well, they don't have to be soldiers. You can still go to a hotel, but there's no point in going to a hotel and you're not able to splurge. So it's either go to a camp and pimp your tent out like I did, have all of the necessities, be up at something like 8:45 in the morning, or go to a hotel, and when you need to jump into a cab, you're jumping into a cab. When you want to spend 40 euros on a meal for you and your missus or whatever, you're able to do that. What else is there? Yeah, in regards to the Spanish women, don't get me wrong, they do make you feel welcome. The whole of the Spanish community in the town make you feel welcome. But in regards to pulling a Spanish girl, me personally, I found the language barrier made it harder to try and even approach them. You know, because if you're talking two different languages, and the most I learnt was hola, ciao, and gracias. That's the only three words that I could speak. So nothing but Spanish women around you, but you have no way of really kind of communicating with them. I kind of refer to them as ghosts. I say, look, these right now, these people are ghosts, because you can see them, but you just can't touch them. You know, beautiful women around you, but there's nothing you can do because you can't communicate with them. What else is there? Yeah, so there's things like the Benny karting. We went to Benny kart go-karts. We had a very wonderful experience on that, but that was something like 22 euros for 8 minutes. So, you know, again, it's about having money, guys. I mean, to be honest with you, I spent in total probably about 760 English pounds for the 8 days. So I got a very good bargain. I did have to carry some really heavy like suitcases, and I mean, I was pimped out with the suitcases. I had one on, in fact, this hair comes from the strap that I constantly had on my shoulder. I constantly had this strap on my shoulder, so I had a bag on my shoulder, I had 2 suitcases, I had another 2 chairs that I was carrying. Where was I going with this? Yeah, so for the £760 that I spent, my tent was pimped out. Basically, it was pimped out. It was comfortable. The only thing that was uncomfortable was the heat coming in. So I made sure I enjoyed myself, you know. But on a budget, really, you're looking at, with your flight and the Rototom ticket, you want to be carrying roughly about 500 euros to do it really comfortably. 500 euros. I had roughly about 290 euros in my pocket, but you want to do it roughly about 500 euros. What else was I going to say about it? Yeah, so the Rototom Festival, again, it's the only festival really that goes on, that I know, that goes on for 8 days. There's no festival in the world, reggae festival, that goes on for 8 days. And 8 days that you can get under 200 euros. So, you know, that's actually quite amazing. Another thing about Rototom is, I always, you know, this is the thing that I fell in love with from the first year, was the professionalism of the whole environment. To the bus staff, to the bar staff, to when you walk into the town, the whole of the town is professional. You walk into a store, you'll see the Rototom sign in the store. So you know, the whole community comes together for Rototom. and they all play their part in it. They all play their part in being the best, being very hospitable, very kind. They go out their way to help you. The professionalism of the whole event is just amazing. You know, the only downside I would say to the whole Rototom thing is that 8 days can be quite. It gets a bit repetitive. I felt it was a bit repetitive for me. And this year, to be honest with you, I didn't really like the lineup. I thought the lineup was really bad this year. But obviously there's still the beach, Benny carts, the water park. There's still those things that beef it back up. But the lineup to me wasn't the greatest. It could have been a lot better. What else have I missed out on? Right, so we said the professionalism. Whatever. If I think of any bad things about it, the police pulled me over about twice this year. I wasn't too fussed about it. They done it about 4 times last year, so I just said, look, just get on with it. And after a while, I think they realised that, you know, no one wants to be nagged, you know, that many times, multiple times. So they kind of left me alone after a while. But to people that aren't really used to it, if you're being pulled over for no apparent reason, then it can be a little bit frustrating. It can be just a little bit frustrating. So if you were coming, I've shown you all of the stuff that I know anyway throughout the videos, but if you are coming to Europe's or the world's biggest reggae festival, because if you tell me another one that goes on for longer than 8 days, then I'd like to know about it. Just leave it in the comment section. But if you are coming, I would really suggest that you go into a hotel. That's what I would suggest. That's the first thing I would suggest to you. Maybe rent a villa, maybe try to rent some, because some people might be renting houses close to the beach and things like that. If however you're a soldier and you love camping, then camp. It's as simple as that. Make sure you carry a ground sheet. Make sure you carry a ground sheet for the rocks underneath your tent. There are mosquitoes out there, but they don't bite as bad. Make sure you carry sunscreen because it's roasting hot out there. Yeah, I mean, when you arrive, then you can go into the town and buy things like the ice cooler, beers, ice, and things like that. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. And make sure you purchase a locker so that you put things like your passport and things like that into your locker. Make sure you carry 2 heavy power banks. I would carry 2 20,000 power banks if I was you. And what else? And that's pretty much it, really. Try to bring as many people as you can if you're camping, that is. Last thing I'll say is don't. The chances of pulling someone if you're camping are far less than what it would be in a hotel, because most people are in the hotel. So if you pulled a woman from the Rototom and she says, right, take me back to wherever it is, she will need a wristband in order to get into the camping area. So when you're leading her back to your tent and you're saying, yeah, right, then come, let's go this way, and then you get to the security guard checkpoint and he looks down and you realize she hasn't got it, it kind of kills it in a big way. Unless of course she's going to take you back to her hotel. But anyway, this is my 2019 Sunsplash review. I hope you liked the videos. I hope they gave you a detailed description. So it's not like when I was first initially looking for Rototom videos, it didn't really explain anything to me. So I put together a package where you get to see really what it's all about. There's nothing, as far as I'm concerned, again, that I've missed out on. You know, now you know everything about Rototom. But to be honest with you, it is a brilliant experience. But don't expect to be pulling as many or any Spanish girls if you can't speak Spanish. That's the first thing. Carry plenty of money, and the rest, check out my videos, prepare yourself properly, have a good time. Okay, Right, this is me signing out for the Rototom 2019 Science Special Review. Peace.